Hello guys, I am coming to you from the Heart Center today, and I am going to be doing a video on the 888 Lionsgate today. And I'm really looking forward to bringing in some of this information and this energy. As a matter of fact, about 2 hours ago, I came down to the sanctuary and I was setting up sacred space to be able to do this video and be able to welcome in this energy. And there was all these little, I want to say felines, but I really feel like they were lions, like walking around the floor of the sanctuary here. It was really incredible. I had just basically taken my dowsing rods and I did some clearing and blessing, and I just could all of a sudden see them all walking around, and it was just so beautiful. And I found out a little bit later that afternoon, or this past, just a couple hours ago, that this is also considered International Cat Day. So there's a huge significance between this 888 Lionsgate, and I want to talk a little bit about that in reference to like astronomically or astrologically, what that actually means. But also, really, I want you to know that this has a very strong connection to the heart, right? Because we're talking about the lion-hearted, the one with courage, the one who is brave, the one who is worshipped and worships the sun. And so when I say that, we're talking, this is Leo season. And so that is really about, it's big energy. And the best thing that we can do with big energy is we can harness it, pull it through our body and out into, through our heart and out into the space around us to really influence the people and situations in our lives that need more love, that need more healing, that need to be illuminated. So what I'd like to do is just kind of get us grounded and do an open-hearted meditation, a little something to kind of get us into that right heart space. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about this time and its connection to Sirius, because it actually is connected to the star Sirius. And I'm going to pull a card as well, and then just see what comes through as a collective message with this time at hand. Okay? So take a couple deep breaths in and let it out. Really opening up the heart, the upper heart, the high heart, the low heart. The upper heart or the high heart is up here. The low heart is right here, energy center. Breathing in the energy and breathing out. Just imagine that breath going out the back of the heart. Going down into your sitting bones. And feel the energy, or imagine like there's a pillar of light above your head. Allow this pillar of light to slowly caress, wash, and bring down, or bring it down into that central breathing prana tube. So we start with the crown, the third eye, throat. Once again, the high heart and the regular heart. The solar plexus. Bringing all that energy down in an attitude of gratitude, blessings, and love. Feeling yourself in the chair or on the floor, rooting you to the earth, anchoring you to the earth. bring that beautiful energy up from the earth into your chakras, into your heart chakra. And let's just rest there for a moment. Maybe our hands can be placed on our heart. Big breath in, big breath out. Big breath in and out. All right, wonderful. So when you feel ready, open your eyes if you have not done so already, and just look around you. You can see what space and the atmosphere and the energy that you have in front of you and above you and below you and around you. And affirm that this time, and I will affirm this time, our time together, will be that which is holy and wholesome. That the information that comes through is for your highest and best. That any messages that you receive or any kind of downloads you get or experiences will be for your highest and best and the greater good of all. And just allow your heart to open. When your heart is open, that's how we access the soul. That's where the soul's knowing and the soul's wisdom and information is. And we walk around with that knowledge and that knowing, and we receive clearer and more intuitive hits, or our decisions come through in a much more affirming and vitalizing and vibrant way. So what makes today so very special? This 888 Lionsgate. I'm reminded that over the years we have always had special meditations or special portal activations, if you will, for this time at hand. And what that does is it creates a new, or quickens the heart energy, the love energy, the relating between us and spirit, or meaning us as in you, the I am, and spirit, or source energy. And we start to kind of meet and greet and attract that which is of our highest vibrational frequency. And that comes from God's love, spirit, source, great spirit, whatever creation you feel breathed life into you while you were in the womb of your mother. So one of the things that I want to kind of just touch on real briefly before I pull a card is, especially because I found that some people really enjoy the history and the facts behind these special days and dates. And if we were looking at a calendar back in the ancient days of, let's say, when we were living in Egypt, we would notice and know that Sirius would be the star that we would first see in the morning. And the Sirius star is also associated with the midsummer. I remember growing up, I would go to a friend's house, always a stargazer and star watcher. When I wasn't looking at Pleiades or Cassiopeia or any of the amazing millions of star connections and constellations in the sky, I would wonder all the time. Well, if I wasn't doing that, I was communing with the fairies or the Native Americans or the spirits in the graveyard. I mean, it was just my world, and my life was filled with spirit and energy. And I was so very fortunate to have found my own way and my own communication through that without someone telling me that I was nutso. So anyhow, I remember looking up at the big summer triangle, and I believe at the time, and I could be wrong and we could always go back, but I just remembered seeing these 3 really bright stars. I didn't know what they were. I think one was like Altair, Deneb, and possibly even Betelgeuse. I could be wrong, and you could look that up for yourself. I just remember that triangle, that pyramid really pulled me in. Well, as of today, what I realized is during the time of that summer triangle, Sirius raises up or rises in the morning. And Sirius is the star that's associated, or that typically the Egyptians would see. And when they would see this star, Sirius star, around the 888 Lion's Gate, or the 88 Lion's Gate, that typically meant that there was a new year on the horizon. So Sirius would rise first in the morning, and because they didn't have like actual like calendars and phones and and all that technology that we have, they had different types of technology, and of course they used their heart, their soul, their own wisdom, their GPS system, if you will, probably pendulums, different things like that, to get the information they needed for their agriculture, their culture in general. So when Sirius would rise, or be the first to rise in the morning, they knew that that was the time of the rising of the Nile as well. When the rising of the Nile would occur, that meant that it would flood the valley, and they would have a new agricultural year. So this time, and of course there's, calendars kind of, the dates and times switch back and forth, so I don't really know specifically, but I know that around this time frame, this would be considered the midsummer, and this would be the time that in that those days, it would be considered a new year. So I think, as with most spiritual ancestry, so in this case the Egyptians, you can decide to do what you want with that information, but for me, if this is another opportunity for a new year and a new way of being and a new way of seeing, then I'm going to embrace that, and I'm going to look at what that means for me. So I'm definitely reminded of the inner alchemy, which I'm recognizing more and more is as we become clear channels and we become very confident in who we are inside in our hearts and in our minds, when these are in the right place and state, then we influence the outside. And when we influence the outside, the chaos, the confusion, the turmoil, the drama, all of the things that are happening don't happen inside, because we've now alchemized it. So I want to pull a card from my Inner Alchemy Oracle card deck and see what kind of message we get for this time, for the collective, for whoever is watching this video at any time. And that's what we'll be putting into here. For whoever is watching this video at any time. For one thing we know for sure about the 8-8 is its infinite potential. Infinity and beyond. It's connected to, I believe, the Christed bloodline as well, because we've always heard of the Christ being the Lion of Judah, or the Davidic line. So if you have some kind of connection to Egypt or the lion, you may find that you have a connection to the Christed bloodline and the true Christ consciousness, the true Christianity. compassion. Where are we in need of more compassion in our lives? Where are we in need of giving others compassion? Open your heart and truly feel, see, and know compassion. It is all around you. Be the peace, be the love, and share the compassion that you have with others. Thank you for joining me for this beautiful 888 Lions Gate video, and I look forward to seeing you next time.